Hey guys, how's it going? And happy Friday. I hope you're all doing good. I also hope you all have the ammo that you need and that stuff doesn't get too crazy from these tariffs, which have just been signed in via executive order. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Our ammo and guns going to skyrocket from the recent tariffs? Question mark. Well, I did talk about this a month ago, but in some cases, these tariffs are actually much higher than we thought they were going to be, at least higher than I thought they were going to be. And some of these countries might sound like obscure countries that when you think about it, it's like, well, the US gets like 0.01% of its GDP imported from. Well, now let's come into our world, the gun world, the ammo world. And we're going to find weird little countries out there like Bosnia, Herzegovina, Serbia, Korea, Turkey, and many others. I actually have a whole list here that make up, if you combine them together, the majority of the ammo in the United States, as well as many firearms. And some of these tariffs are steep, like literally like crazy high. So I'm going to start off with this. I hope not. I really do. I hope that we don't see guns and ammo prices shoot through the roof. And by the way, whoever's watching that works at YouTube, shout out. We're literally talking about the market value of the gun and ammo industry as it pertains to the tariff. And this is for educational purposes. We're certainly not promoting anything. We're not promoting the sale of anything in this industry whatsoever. Just so you guys all know, that's my disclaimer because this is YouTube that we're on. But there you go. Now, here's the deal, guys. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's what happens in times like this. So we're going to go through that because I have some speculations. I have some theories. And then there's just kind of like the writings on the wall. Like, wow, when you look at some of these huge, and I mean huge tariff percentages on some of these otherwise little known countries, and some are very famous countries. And then I'm looking over on the ammo shelf and I'm thinking like, wow, so-and-so makes this, so-and-so makes that. These have been some of our most economical times to buy for the last year, right, Red? I just saw Red said that in the chat. What's happening, man? Look, guys, we're going to get into all this in just 1 second. But before we do, I want to thank all of you for the many ways you help support the channel. Thank you to all of my channel members. You guys get some unique emojis here in the chat. And the little badge is recognition. And I do appreciate all of you. Same thing to my Patreon supporters, as well as locals. Now, look, guys, locals is a different site, censorship free. I do an extra stream there every Saturday night on locals and their sister site that rhymes with Fumble. Now, if you guys are familiar with my locals community, I post deals on stuff there every day, like the 5.56 millimeter. Right? If you know what I mean, for like 7.59. That was just on there last week. You won't find that today, but make sure during these times, if you're trying to get what you need on stuff, make sure you're heading over there every day. I'm going to try to help you guys while the going's still good. And this has been a buyer's market like crazy for the past year. And I've been telling you all that. And one more time, it is my sincere hope that it stays that way. Like, I really, really hope it stays that way. I'm not going to bank on that, though. And if you wanted my guess, probably not. Now, maybe all these countries are going to drop all their tariffs on the U.S. immediately. I hear some are right now. And maybe at the end of the day, nothing will happen. And that is my hope. But you do have to think about all of this. But I'm serious. Make sure you check out my locals, my live streams. I post awesome deals on stuff. Dude, and we do like really cool content that we just can't do on YouTube live streams. Like I brought all these cool old Mausers in just this last Saturday night. We talked about some cool Czech guns before that, American guns, Kalash, AR, all this cool stuff. So make sure you check all of that out. Also, there's links down in the description. Many ways you can help support the channel, as well as super chats, which I will read tonight. And if we do hit our super chat goal, I'll do a viewer Q&A before it's over. So, yeah, what do you guys think? So if you remember back in 2020, there was a virus. There was a whatever that hit. We always call it on this channel the flugaloo, right? Crazy times. Literally, like people out in the streets. They call them mostly peaceful protests. I can still remember that CNN broadcast. Behind them, it's like buildings are exploding. People are just in the streets, just ravaging everything they can. Everything's on fire. Boom. Oh, that was glass. So a Molotov cocktail. And then he's with a straight face. Other than that, these are the mostly peaceful protests. Do you all remember that? Well, I also remember about that time. The people started buying ammo like no other. People started buying ammo and guns like they hadn't in, quite frankly, decades before that. I mean, you figure election in 08 and in 12, people kind of stocked up. Then there was the Trump slump. I mean, they did back in 94, and there's been a bunch of them back in the day too, but the stuff goes in streaks. When the going's good, it's going good. When the going's bad, though, when it comes to guns and ammo, it gets pretty bad. And all of a sudden, people started buying up guns and ammo like they hadn't in a long, long time. Virtually like they never had before. Why? Well, there was this virus. They call it so many things, it's hard to even remember, but some people even call it the Kung Flu. And then what I don't, I think I literally made it up, and I think a lot of you guys liked it a lot. We come up with lots of good sayings on this channel together, don't we? I call it the flugaloo. It just fit. It just fit the times. Hopefully we're not going to get into another one, but I think it's probably slightly more likely than not, actually. Stuff's going to get crazy, I think, this summer. People started buying up all these guns and ammo. Why? To shoot the virus out of the air? No, probably not, because you can fit like 1 million of them on the head of a needle. No, people bought all the guns and ammo, quite frankly, because they don't trust the government. Now, we do have a Republican in office, and we do have Republicans controlling very narrowly the United States House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, which most gun owners are. Well, gun owners are one thing, but most gun and Second Amendment enthusiasts are Republicans. Well, not me. I don't like the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, actually, but the few that I do like here and there do typically happen to be Republicans because, like all Democrats, are anti-gun. However, with Trump in office, we are currently right now, and when I say right now, I mean like right now. Maybe not like tomorrow or the next day or a week from now. I hope I'm wrong. But right now, we are still in Trump slump part 2. Buying is down through the floor, down into the cellar. Heck, you actually almost have to make like a mine shaft to get down deep enough. That's how much the bottom has dropped out in America of consumers buying guns and ammo. This has led to much more supply than demand, and prices have been awesome on many, many things. In fact, go look at the post I made on locals earlier today, and it might not be a certain item you're interested in, but you should go look at it at least just to see what I'm talking about. Like, some of this stuff is like, wow, how's it even possible? Well, if people stay with the buying fatigue that they have, that might be our only chance of stuff staying down in price. So maybe that's a little silver lining. Maybe that means things won't be doom and gloom. But here's the thing. Tariffs just got launched, like catapulted, like up into the air, into the stratosphere in many cases, and every country in the world. They're called reciprocal tariffs in many cases. In other cases, they're a little bit different than that. In some countries like China, it's complicated because there's multiple stacking tariffs on top of each other, some implemented previously, some from certain industries, some aren't. Like, you're stealing your metals, hitting some places, but it's exempt in others. But for the most part, when you're talking about the finished products of all of the imports of guns and ammo into the U.S., those are all going to get smacked. Now, let me back up and say one other thing first, because this is like a really, really complicated topic, right? Like, philosophically, in theory, I actually think these tariffs are awesome. And hear me out, because it's going to be like a comma but, though, because I'm like this with them, all right? I just want to be honest with you guys. I'm kind of like this right now. Because, like, in theory, it's like, dude, I actually do believe in eye for an eye. I actually do. And if you saw the live stream that I did Wednesday with Second Amendment attorney Steven Stambolia, he basically said that, like the old-fashioned eye for an eye. If people are out committing murder in the streets, through due process, put them down. That's how this country was founded. And the Bible talks about an eye for an eye. And look, like philosophically, I understand it. And I think there's a lot of value to that. So when countries have been ripping off the United States for years, decades, in some cases even longer than that, like, I get it. You smack them back. You know what I'm saying? So like, but look, like, so it's like I truly do like philosophically understand it. And that part of my brain is like, go get them. Go red, white, and blue. Sock all these people in the teeth. Blah, blah, blah. They've been ripping off the United States forever. Let's hit them back. Fair is fair. But then here's another issue I have right now. And here's the thing, guys. I'm like working class, probably not even middle class, like working class poor. Well, actually, like I know I am, because when you can look at for a family of 3, my beautiful daughter, my beautiful wife. Look, guys, here's the thing. I don't really value money that much. Like, money is needed to make the world go round, of course. And that's why I appreciate all your contributions to this channel, because money's needed just to keep a little channel like this going. But other than that, I think the love for money is the root of all evil. The love for money is the root of all evil. And I do believe that. But at the same time, man, like, I'm literally what's called working poor. There's charts that you can look up. And if I just work like a couple less hours, actually, I'm not joking when I say this, I'm being serious. Owning my very small business that's been getting harder and harder to operate in this country, in this wretched state of Michigan. They call her the governor of Michigan, right? They call her Wretched Gretchen. They call her many things. Wow, I'm trying to keep this family friendly tonight. Maybe some of the youngsters would like to learn a little bit about what it's like to love the Second Amendment, what it's like to be poor in this country. So I'm not going to call her all the things they call her, but she'd like to offer you communion. Well, these are sick people. These are not good-looking people. On the inside or out, in this state of Michigan, under the Democrat trifecta for 2 years, has gone to hell. If I would work just probably a couple hours less a year, I probably could just be on welfare and make about the same, you know? And I know some of you are nodding right now because you do know what I'm talking about. So philosophically, man, I'm like all for it. You know, I really am. Like, so I get it. Like all of you out there that are like, dude, go team. Let's get them. These are bad countries. And yeah, they are too. Like all these countries are corrupt. But here's the thing, man. We've been living in this. Well, they said it themselves. Go back to George Bush Sr. We're ushering into a new world order. New world order isn't even really that new anymore. It's been going on a long time, where the whole country is run by one complex after another. Remember Dwight D. Eisenhower? If anyone would have known, it would have been him. Highest possible general in the land. Certainly knew about the military a little bit, I'd say. Probably a little bit more than a lot, actually. Became president. In his farewell address, he gave us the dire warning of the military-industrial complex. And trust me, I'm getting into guns and ammo in a few minutes here, because this has everything to do with everything that's going on right now. It's a global economy. It's a global cabal. And it's a big old club, but you ain't invited to it. Neither am I. And that's actually okay, though, because I don't like to hang out with those types of people. I see a lot of good people in the chat here right now that I've literally hung out with in real life. And I like people like you. It's not that I want to hang out with these people. I don't. And I'm not jealous at all. All of these super miserable millionaires and billionaires, and their kids are a wreck, and they're having affairs with this and that. And no. I'll be poor and not settle for it, but like be extremely thankful for my awesome, beautiful wife and daughter, and my parents that live next door, and just stuff like this, and just the beautiful things you can still find outside. I noticed some flowers were coming up just recently. Those little ones, they're kind of like purple, and they just have like real scant little stalks. I don't even know the name of them, although I should, because I'm literally a professional in this field. I'm a landscaper. But these are just kind of these little wildflowers. They came up in bloom the other day, and those were beautiful, and it didn't cost me anything to look at them. I really enjoyed it, actually. But here's the deal, man. At the end of the day, with what's going on right now, what's been going on for a while, I see it as the rich are going to get richer and the poor are going to get poorer. If any of you has $1 million right now, you're probably going to want to load up on anything in the market. And this is not financial advice, obviously, but almost take your pick. The markets are down through the floor, whether it's crypto, whether it's stocks, annuities, funds. I mean, I don't even know what the name of all these things are, but they're all like through the floor right now. And a lot of people are going to make a lot of money. I know that for a fact. Now, again, man, I don't need a lot of money. I really don't. And I'd like to have a little more than I do sometimes, because trust me, here's the flip side. When you're like really poor and you're stressing because the bill's overdue, or your account's like gone negative and you have to wait like the next day because you know you're getting that check from a customer to put it in there. Has anybody ever gone through that before? That's not fun. When you pick out 3 things you like at the grocery store, and then you look at your wallet or look at your ledger, whatever, and you're like, well, I'm going to have to put something back right now. I'll put it back, and maybe next week will be a better week, right? But I do like to shoot. I like to shoot recreationally because it's just fun, and it's a good stress reliever. I also like to shoot because, like, look, we need to be a good shot to protect ourselves from both enemies, both foreign and domestic. Why? Well, that was written in 1789, exactly why, and ratified as the supreme law of the land 2 years later. 1791, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, it's just our right, but it's our duty to be well regulated, which means well practiced, at the ready, something formidable that could actually have the skills and the supplies needed to protect yourself, your family, your hometown, and then ultimately up to and including your whole country from enemies, either foreign or especially domestic. That's what the founding fathers said. That's the oath a lot of people take and have been taking for years. I wish they'd get rid of that, to the best of my ability, though. You guys ever notice that when people take an oath? To the best of my ability. No. You're either going to defend against enemies, foreign and domestic, or you're not. And if you're not up for the task, don't take the oath. Whether you're in the United States Armed Services, whether you work at a public school, whether you're a politician, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it at the end of the day. But that's their biggest loophole. They all take these oaths, and a lot of people take them very seriously. I know a lot of you took oaths for different careers and jobs you've had in the past that you'll never do again. But as far as you're concerned, you're still bound by that oath. And I appreciate all of you. That's awesome. There's other people right now, though, that are literally just trying to ruin this country in so many ways and attack the Second Amendment. They're like, well, my oath said I would protect and defend the Constitution to the best of my abilities. Oh, well. Oh, I passed a bunch of gun control. Hey, I guess I just didn't do. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Midwest Longer. It's the best of my abilities cop out. What's happening, Denny Wilson? Nice to see you, man. We're going to get into some of this ammo right now. I think a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about, though, don't you? Chime in the chat. Like, so, dude, like, philosophically, I'm all for it. I actually agree with an eye for an eye. I agree that Trump's trying to right the wrongs of the Biden administration. I get it that we've been suckers and losers on trade for decades and decades and decades. Okay? I get all of that. Like, philosophically, I love these tariffs, but I'm real worried about them where the rubber meets the road and how it's going to affect my everyday life, your everyday life. And since we're all like, I think most of us, for the most part, we're into guns and ammo. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to affect us there like crazy. I'm just going to take 2 seconds here, guys. The viewership normally drops when I do this because people and shout out to everybody who's watching on replay, the replay crew. I try to mainly read chats at the end because the replay crew just wants to hear the content. But I think you all know by now this is a live stream. It lasts a couple hours. I'm here to talk about stuff, I think very important stuff, and hang out with my friends. And I do lots of short, concise videos. And it literally says streamed underneath for anyone that's watching on replay. He's 20 minutes in. He hasn't got to the point. No. It's okay, guys. You'll be okay. I promise. I was getting to the point like immediately. Like this is the point of these live streams. I was about 5 minutes late, though, by the way. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say hi to a few of you that I see out there. And then we're going to get into some of these percentages. And I have boxes of ammo next to me, and we're going to go through all of it. But Mateo didn't set up my microphone exactly how I like it before the stream started. Yep. He's still my friend, though. It's okay. It's not really that okay. On this particular, my microphone's supposed to be here. It was just like this. So if you guys see Mateo in the chat, you can blame him for everything with why I was 5 minutes late. Well, one of those minutes was my fault, actually, because I wanted to brew some of this coffee because, oh my gosh, all the coffee bean producers of the world, besides Hawaii, but like Kona coffee is already the most expensive, is skyrocketing like 30, 40, 50%. So one of the minutes I was late was my fault. The rest is all on Mateo. But we're still friends, I guess, maybe. Let me know if he's in the chat tonight. I think maybe we're still friends. Let me go through some of the people. I just want to see who's in the chat. Because a lot of you guys, I'll see like the next week. And I'm like, oh, man, I wish I said hi to him. I do have a super chat here I want to read real quick. John Q. Public, what's happening, man? How you doing? Thank you for the generous super chat and for being a channel member. He says, I just wanted to let everyone know that I have my pre-trial on Monday, April 7th. Wow, that's fast. Jeez. Okay, at 8 a.m. at the Macomb County Circuit Courthouse about the 5-year felony charge, MCL 750.227, CCW, open holster carry in his very own vehicle. That sucks, man. That sucks. And I wish you well. I'm not an attorney. I can't represent you, and I don't know what to say. Thank you, though. Thank you for the super chat, and I'm really sorry to hear that, man. And I hope you can actually somehow get some justice under what I consider our system of injustice. Just think about that, guys. You live in a place called America. The right to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. Now, one of our friends in the chat that's been here hanging out with us for a long time. I hope this isn't the case, too. Like, and I'm not even saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance we might not see him for a while because he was exercising his natural right to keep and bear arms. And then you look at the Michigan Constitution, and yeah, it's just. I wish you well, man. I do. Mike McClune, channel member for 45 months. Wow, that's a long time, dude. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Mike McClune, what's happening, dude? Wow, Dale, what's happening? Dale, 46 months. Wow. He's got Mike by a month? I like Dale just this much more than Mike now. No, I like you both the same. You're both good. Thanks, man. Dude, he says, I love the Star B6. Well, Dale was checking out my locals, and it worked out very well for him, didn't it? That was awesome, dude. That was an awesome. Here's the thing, though, man. Turkey's getting hit with a 10% tariff. Turkey's getting hit 10%, you know? So expect that to go up about 10% here any minute now. Well, dude, it was already on sale for like over 100 and something off anyways. So expect that to go up about 150. You know what I mean? Here's what I'm afraid is going to happen when a lot of these imports start drying up. And I'm getting into the meat potatoes of all this in 1 second here. We're going to start seeing where they just stop bringing a lot of this stuff in because it just won't be worth it anymore economically. Then we can start seeing stuff not only rising up because of the tariffs, but then if the demand starts catching up to the supply, we're not going to see these fire sales like Dale and some of my other friends have been taken advantage of lately on locals where they're already getting it almost half off. You know what I mean? I hope not, but I can see this stuff coming. Danny's plant-based journey. What's happening, man? Nice to see you, dude. Danny, he says, howdy, y'all. 49 months. Wow. We like him even more, don't we? Wow. We used to like Dale and Mike. I still like you guys. 49-month channel member. Thank you. I appreciate it, Danny. And we have Rescue Nut. What's happening, man? Also a channel member and a super chat coffee refill. Well, thank you. I will enjoy that later on this weekend. Or heck, dude, I got $5. I'm rich now. I'm just gonna leave this stream and go buy some more coffee. Screw it. You guys wouldn't mind, would you? Thank you, Rescue Nut. And we have Marco Polo. What's happening, dude? How you doing? Man, look at that shirt. That's a classic that he's wearing in his avatar. I like that one. Channel member for 36 months. Thank you. And you guys get free member super chats too by being members for a certain amount of time, as all these guys are showing you right now. Love the deals, but no money. Yeah, I get it, dude. I know. That's why it's cheap, though, and that's why. Thank you for being a supporter, Marco. And that's why I'm worried about these tariffs. So, I'm thinking about guns. I'm thinking about ammo. Where are you all at with this? Where are you all at with this? What's happening, Lori DeVries? How you doing? Drain the Swamp. I want to say hi to people for just like 2 seconds here. Mr. H. I've seen some good people tonight. Red, what's happening, Red? How you doing? Oh, Mateo is in here. Wow, there he is. Well, I said we're still probably friends. It's okay. It's okay. There he is. Harry Gremley, what's happening, Harry? We have Wild Times. How you doing? James, what's up, James? Richard Denny. There you go, Eric Johnson. My oath did not stop when I put away my ACUs. Yes, sir. You're a good American. A lot of you guys are, though. Lots of good people in here. What's happening, Midwest Logger? How you doing, man? Oh, there she is, Jane Locke. Wow. How's it going, Jane? She's kind of incognito now with her new avatar. She's still good looking, though, guys. Don't worry. She's a little hard to get. She's out of most of your league, but she's still a good looking young gal. What's happening, Kurt24? How you doing, man? G23, what's up? Oh, look at you guys in here. Wafagoey Jones, been retired 19 years. Wow. JR, what's happening, JR? We got George. I'm getting into the tariffs in 2 seconds, guys. Someone's going to be mad at me on replay. They're like, dude, get to the tariffs now. Oh, there's a lot of good people in the chat. Wow. What's up, Santy? How you doing? Pillbox Bunker. There he is. What's happening, Pillbox? How you doing, man? Hopefully you got the Pillbox Bunker well stocked right now. What do you guys think? Is he well stocked? I hope he is. I hope he is. What's up, Sean Zimmerman? And I know I missed a few people, but Mike Hammond, there he is. What's happening, man? Dude, incentive to bring manufacturers here to the U.S. to avoid tariffs, creating jobs in the process. Dude, I agree with you, man. I do. And that's why I said, like, I'm all for this, like, philosophically. I just don't know, like, where the rubber's going to meet the road and how I'm going to be able to make my ends meet here right now. You guys know what I'm saying, right? So this is one of those things, and I just want to have this conversation because, dude, like, half the people are getting mad at me right now because I'm not saying go Team Trump enough. The other half are kind of like mad at me right now because, like, I'm not condemning him enough. You know, it's just, dude, we are just like so bifurcated right now. It's not even funny. But like, I truly mean everything I'm telling all of you. Like, philosophically, I'm all about it. Like, I own a small American business that everything I have to buy for my supplies and materials to keep my business running all comes from other countries. And I wish it didn't, but it does. And like, it seems like 90% of the stuff I buy, nobody makes it in the U.S. at all. So my supplies and operating costs, though, are going to jump up like 10 to 30 to 40 to 50% here. Hopefully not, but probably like overnight. So like, like in my left hand, I'm being 100% truthful with you. Like philosophically, I'm like, dude, let's go get them. It's awesome. Eye for an eye. Let's do this. But then over here, I'm like, man, like everything I'm buying to get my business going for the spring and like materials is like already like going up in price. It seems like virtually overnight. And the stuff that hasn't yet, as soon as the supply line trickles over, it's being forecasted at will. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. You know what I mean? With all these jobs hopefully coming to America. That's like so awesome. I wish like all this stuff was made in America like it used to be. But then like in the other hand, you know what I mean? Like, who cares about tomorrow if I can't survive today? Like, I have to get through today to get to tomorrow. And I do see like when the stock market plunges and all of this, like the rich always get like way, 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 way richer. So like it's a mixed bag. I truly think it is. And I'm not saying that to make everybody happy, because I probably just got almost everybody mad at me in a certain sense, because I'm supposed to be like, everything's perfect about this, no matter what, because our daddy's the one that declared it. Well, first of all, my dad's not in politics, and he just lives in a small little ranch right now, the one I was born and raised in. So yeah, I don't look at any politician if they're like my daddy, but I just got people mad because I said that. But then other people are like, dude, you need to hang Trump out to dry and say he's worse than Biden. Well, I don't think he's worse than Biden either. And I do kind of understand what he's doing, but yeah, now my guns and ammo are going to go up along with everything else, and I can't even buy half this crap that I want to buy made in the USA, like no matter how much I want to. A lot of the stuff that I have to buy to run my business, and then also just my day-to-day life, is just not available made in this country, like at all, for any price, like no matter what. Well, that's kind of scary, you know? So there you go. What's happening, Vince? How you doing, man? So yeah, that's kind of, I'm looking about this. The boom will come when the patient's healed. Yes. I hope the patient can survive long enough, and the patient's well. I heard Trump say that. Okay, think about this. Guns and ammo. This is going to be affected by this a lot more than other things that people aren't really thinking about. Like, people are thinking about, like, well, what about my gas prices? What about my groceries? And those are all, like, really important. We all buy gas and groceries, but like some of these gun and ammo heavy export countries, meaning we import heavily from them, like they're going up a lot. I'm going to show you two quick stories here. I needed a new backpack blower this spring. I really need two different sizes. One's a backup, whatever. And my old little backup had died. So I needed to buy another one. Well, I usually like to run a Red Max. Well, the new premium top of the line Red Max blower, dude, it puts out like 900 CFM. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like $800. Now, why would you need an $800 back blower if you're a professional like I am and you're moving large amounts of leaves and just different things from different jobs? You have to do it, because if your competitors all have it and you don't, you're either working for like less than nothing, or you like just can't get the job done, or you know what I'm saying. It's just the way it is. And if you own your own business, you know what I'm talking about. If not, your employer owns like expensive things that are much beyond like homeowner grade, right? So like, okay, so I've got that one. It's running good. I bought that one a couple years ago. Well, I need another one, right? I just got a text from QD. He can't text on my stuff. What's happening, QD? Mateo, can you look into that and make sure QD's account's okay? Hold on a minute. We got to check our friend QD real quick here. Anyways, so I needed to buy a backup one. And it's like I'm sitting here looking at it, and I'm like, ah. So here's the problem. And I was talking to a friend about this. It's like he's like, well, you know, it's going to be tough. And he wasn't arguing with me on any of it, but it's like, all right, well, the answer is go buy an American-made backpack blower. You know, gasoline-powered. There are no American-made backpack blowers, like at all. Like literally none. Even a lot of the, quote, Japanese brands I now did with my research are actually buying a lot of their parts or having them assembled and made in China. So like I totally get it. Like the answer is you buy from you buy stuff made in the USA. And dude, I promise you, I'm totally for that. Like I've gone down to PSA like 3 years straight and I love it. Just watching all this made in America stuff. But there's not one company in the whole country that makes a backpack blower that's made in America that's not going to be affected by these crazy tariffs. Does that make sense? So I go through. I'm like, well, I'm in the middle of getting ready to power wash a house right now, and then stain the decks, and then install some decorative gravel, which I've already done the decorative gravel. I had a price sheet from this local landscape supply, and they're the cheapest one around, actually, the area. And I had their price sheet from late last fall, and this stuff was $176 a yard. Expensive stuff. It's like a black granite. That's what the customer wanted. So I quote the price based on that's what it's going to cost me. I get there, it's $196. And she's like, well, actually, I called. Let me back up. I call and I'm like, do you have it in stock? She's like, yes, but get here quick because we're raising the prices like drastically in the next day or two. See, people forget Canada's like a 30-minute drive from where I live, where I do my business. 45 minutes ish, right? Less than an hour. A lot of the even gravel and certain things are coming over from Canada to the US like it's nothing. Well, there's been tariffs that have been added onto Canada just in the last recent times here, right? So I get there and it's like 196. And I'm like, oh, you said I thought it was 176. You said it hasn't gone up yet. She's like, oh no, but it's gonna happen like tomorrow. I'm like, well, it's $20 more than it was. She's like, well, that's what it went up since late last fall. And then now, like, essentially tomorrow, it's going to go up yet another 10%. I'm like, oh, wow. So it was like luckily only like a 3-yard job. So I had to eat that $60. It's not a big deal, but I'm just going through how all this tariff stuff works. Then I stopped by to buy some pool chlorine, which I use in my mixture for my cleaner for removing mildew and mold and stuff from houses and decks. And, my cleaning solution, that's the primary ingredient. It's called sodium hyperchlorite. You get a high concentration of it for the buck, at least you used to, by buying Pool Shock, pool cleaner, liquid chlorine, whatever. Well, the local hardware store, place called Bud Martin's, nice little place. So look, guys, I'm doing business locally in both instances, which is what I want to do. I try to do. I always want to do that. Like I'm totally Team America more than anybody. But I go there. And I'm like, well, I called them the other day and I'm like, hey, do you have pool chlorine in stock yet? They're like, well, it's a little bit early for pool season. I'm like, yeah, but I need it for my power washing. Nice young lady. She's like, they know who I am. I've been a regular there for years because again, I do shop locally. I do buy locally. And she's like, well, let me see if I can order you 3 cases from another store to get you by for now. We're going to get our big truckload of it. So I do 12 gallons. And she's like $88. I'm like, oh, excuse me, there must be a mistake. I just got 12 gallons. She goes, yeah, I know, $88. I'm like, well, when I was here like late last fall, and when I say late last fall, I mean like essentially snow was starting to almost come down. It was almost, the water was almost freezing on the last house I washed. So like, 6 months ago, or not even 6 months ago, probably like 6 months ago. I'm like, it was $5 a gallon. She's like, I know, now it's 7. So the pool chlorine went up 40%. Like I found out literally today. I'm like, I'm going to move past this, but this is just so important because this is like literally what's going on. So then I have to stay in the deck. Well, I like to use 2 stains primarily, Penafin and TWP. They're oil-based penetrating stains. They truly soak into the pores of the wood. Don't use acrylic latex-based film forming stuff. It'll chip off your deck. Not a good idea. I've been staining decks 25 years. Trust me. So I've been buying this stuff for years. I remember when it was $15 a gallon. I've been doing this 25 years. I'm getting old. But It's gradually gone up where it was up to about 40 bucks a gallon, 40 or so. Then Michigan, it's called Eagle, EGLE. Some bureaucratic, unelected entity in Michigan, they decide we're going to go low VOC, which stands for volatile organic compounds. It means they have to get rid of all the good stuff out of the stain that makes it actually preserve your deck, right? Okay. So now there's these new VOC compliant stains. Literally overnight. I go to buy it this spring. It's from 40 bucks up to 70 bucks a gallon. Are you kidding me? Yeah, here's the crazy part. Penafin, the oil, the number one ingredient is Brazilian rosewood oil. It comes from the nuts, not actually the tree itself. It actually helps to keep sustainability of the rainforest, which is cool. Like, I love the forest, and I don't want them cutting down the rainforest either. Like, dude, I'm not a tree hugger at all. Like, as far as like in a commie way or any of that, but I am like forests are beautiful and I like them being there. I think a lot of you are like that. And now I'm like, okay, so what's the tariffs on Brazil? Oh, those are 10%. See what I mean? It's literally crazy. I'm trying to find your channel URL real quick, QD, because our friend QD texting me because he's trying to chat right now, and he's been literally like, he's blocked from my channel, which I didn't do, and I definitely wouldn't do. If you can help me, Mateo, if it's QD, somebody could text me his channel URL. I can see if something happened, because I promise you I wouldn't ban you. And sorry, everybody. I'm just scrolling through, and there's like hundreds of channels called QD in here. So if Linda or Mateo or somebody, anybody, if you could please throw me an assist and send me a message with QD's channel URL, like the actual link, to the channel. I can't find it by just simply searching for it. And I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I just can't find it. Oh, QD's in the chat right now. Okay, there he is. All right. I don't know what happened, dude. I don't know what happened. I hate to see that because, okay, he's not banned. All right, cool. You know what drives me nuts, guys? Like, so many of you guys think like I'm banning you. Some dude the other night was like, oh, I see how it is. Someone disagrees with you, you delete your comment. And I'm like, dude, I felt terrible. I replied to his comment like it totally wasn't deleted. And then he actually saw it later and he's like, dude, my bad. Like, we're good. But this stuff's been happening like crazy on YouTube lately. I just want you guys to know this. Like, lots of craziness going on. Like, QD's like one of my real like friends in real life. We've hung out. We've like vacationed together and stuff. So trust me, man. Like, if anyone's out there's like, oh, like 28EDU must have done something nefarious with my comment. Yeah, it's like crazy stuff's going on this site. What's happening, Gore? VOC compliant means doesn't work as good but costs more. Yeah, I know. All right, let's get into some of this ammo stuff here, because I have some ammo and, oh gosh, optics. You know what I mean? This is an O-Site X. It's actually a really, really nice site. The O-Site S. Dude, I wish we were on like locals. I could literally pull up like the stuff that this is attached to. You know what I mean? Just an empty box, YouTube, whoever's watching. Shout out to all the YouTube employees who watch the stream. Dude, I love this little guy. The S, the multi-reticle. Well, the way I did the rough math, China's up to about a 54 to 60% tariff now. You know what I mean? Dude, I was going through thinking about optics. Trigicon. They might do some of their stuff overseas, but actually not too far down the road from here. Across town, if you will. Trigicon out of Wixom, Michigan. They make stuff in the USA. That's awesome. Yeah. I just told you guys how hard it is to struggle owning a small business in this messed up state. I can't afford to buy Trigicon. Maybe like if I prioritize one thing, but I can't just like buy Trigicon stuff on the regular. EOTech. EOTech. Made the USA for the most part. I'm thinking, is there anything else? Help me, guys. I just listed two of the most expensive and good stuff. Oh, trust me, are they good? Dude, Trijicad down the road in Wixom. They have the most beautiful nativity scene. All right. Beautiful nativity scene they put up. They put a Bible verse on all of their optics. At least they used to last time I checked. Dude, like, I love them. America, like, awesome, dude. Like, practically neighbors. But at the same time, though, like, you got to have some coin to buy yourself a Trijicon or an EOTech. Help me out, chat. There's over 100 of you watching, by the way. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I'm not complimenting the tariffs as much as I should be, so some people have already given me a thumbs down. A few more probably gave me a thumbs down because I'm not bagging on the tariffs as much as I should be. Because, like, philosophically, I actually kind of agree with all of it, you know. But then, like, I'm thinking, like, man, like, it's going to be tough to afford to shoot soon, I think. And it's already, like, super hard to afford to buy anything else. Can anyone think of any optics companies in this whole country besides Trijicon and EOTech where they actually make it here? Now, here's the kicker. Even though they make the scopes and sights here, what about the circuit boards? Even for those two companies, I bet you $1 they ain't made here. Now, I'm only going to bet you $1 in Minecraft because I'm not a betting man. But do we even make printed circuit boards here anymore? Or microchips, like at all? Like at all? I was talking to my friend Ron on the phone earlier tonight. And he said, dude, the Micron company was in its heyday like 40 years ago in the US. Well, yeah, that's true. Besides maybe some prototype stuff. So even like this USA stuff, all this stuff's computerized to an extent now. Like even if it's just a matter of making like your optic light up brighter or lower with a little push button. And I don't mean the old dials, because you know if it's an analog. Dude, there's something about an analog radio, isn't there, guys? Does anyone have like an analog stereo? There's just something about turning that dial, and it's like physically moving the rheostat. There's just something about it. Dude, my old 1962 Dodge Dart that I had when I was a teenager. It's a really old car now. It wasn't quite so old then. It had vacuum tubes in the radio. And when it was really cold out, you might have to wait 5 minutes before you get the sound. And the sound would come in real soft, and it would slowly but surely come up the volume. And listen to old country music on a vacuum tube radio with analog dials. See? That's just like stuff money can't even buy. That's like so awesome. Some of you that play the guitar might have a vacuum tube amp or whatnot. You know what I'm talking about. But look, guys, like, we don't really have scopes and optics like that anymore. So even the USA, like the two brands I can think of right now that make here, I don't mean that the companies formed here. I mean that actually make them here. I'm pretty darn sure, and I don't want to speak for them. If I'm wrong, if someone works there, let me know. I hope, you know, but probably there's imported stuff coming in to even make those too, though, right? Like they might be assembled here and manufactured here in much of the parts. Well, what about the raw materials, though? Even if they are making the physical parts here, where do the raw materials come from? And I get it, like, dude, like, buy American, like, right now. I'd love to, guys. I can't, there is no American backpack blower, though, that exists. And I need one. And then, like, the deck stain and the everything. And I live in Michigan where we have Eagle. And it's like, well, they will be California tier compliant. So you're kind of sort of like living in California while you're living in Michigan, if you know what I mean. Let me see if anyone can think of anything. Okay, cool. Cool, QD. I will tell Mateo that. I'm like, man, if Susan Wiki's going after my boy QD, we're going to have some issues. If she's going after any of you guys, we're going to have some issues. Optics. Come on, guys. Help me out here. Dude, Rad, I knew it, man. I was thinking of you, actually, when I said that. Like, you might not believe me, but I think you do. I'm like, I know Red. Red's a cool guy, guys, by the way. I've hung out with him in real life, and so have some of you guys. He's like nostalgic in just the right way. Like, I'm being serious. I knew he's going to think, oh, no, you made that up. No, I'm telling you the truth, man. No, literally, like, Red was popping in my head. I'm like, I know at least him, and probably like 10 other people in the chat watching right now. Oh, yeah, right here. Mr. Brown Review, see? Kenwood, okay. Wow, yeah. Look, there's just something about it, right, George Merrill? The vacuum tubes, they have to warm up. Darling, can you turn on the radio? I'm like, well, it's about 15 degrees outside. We'll get a song in about 5 minutes. I mean, for those of you that have been there, you've been there. Dude, no seatbelts in the car. It was grandfathered in, didn't need them. Like, I'm being serious. Just a driver's mirror. Didn't need the passengers or rear view mirror. Like, oh yeah. This is like pre-dice in the mirror. They didn't even put all these mirrors on cars back in 1962. But it's like, nah, but it's 15 degrees outside. Fire it up. You'd fire it up, and then about 5 minutes later, you just start to hear the old and then it'd get a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then it'd come up on playing, and you're like, all right. Johnny Cash is on the radio. We're good to go. Dude, how about you guys? Like, seriously, when Johnny Cash is on the radio, you're good to go. Johnny Cash on a vacuum tube radio. Oh, yeah. It just takes 5 minutes when it's in the middle of the winter. Gort, channel member for 43 months. Wow, dude, time does fly. A lot of you guys have been supporting a long time. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, man. John Q. Public with another super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. He says, I'm fighting for our right to carry without a permit. And we should not need permits, and it's completely unconstitutional. And I appreciate you fighting, sir. John Q. Public with another super chat says, block 2 unless I super chat for some reason. Well, I certainly appreciate the super chat. The fact that you're able to super chat proves you're not like hidden from this channel, because if you're hidden, like, you can't super chat either. So I don't know what that would be about, but I'm sorry to hear that, man. QD just came in with, wow, does that say $100? Wow, dude, thank you. I really appreciate it, QD. I might be able to afford this. Might be able to afford to buy myself some Chinese EM or Japanese that's still made in China or whatever. Well, from any country but America, because America somehow has gotten to the point where it can't make a backpack blower. Can't or refuses to or won't. Or thank you, QD. I appreciate you, man. I wasn't growling at you for being so generous. I'm just growling because it's like, well, I guess we can't make much of anything anymore in this country, but we really could, though. Like, I know we could. QD with another generous $50 super chat. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. And a channel member. He says, put on a Taurus revolver, LOL. Brazil, hold on a minute. Brazil, 10% tariff. That's going to hit that's going to hit a lot of your Taurus stuff. Some of it's made in the U.S., too. What about this? This is your MagTech premium steel case. Boy, I've shared deals. Not on YouTube, I haven't. Susan Wiki, it's okay. You can lay back down peacefully in your grave tonight. No ghost. No ghost. Go lay down. Go lay down, woman. But look, like, you have to be very gingerly when you're, you know what I mean. This stuff's made in Brazil. MagTech makes a lot of ammo. This is good stuff. That's a 10% tariff. Thank you for the generous super chat, QD. I appreciate you, man. Who do we have here? It's the GD Bacon. What's happening, man? How you doing? Thank you for being a long-time channel member. This guy's been a supporter a long time, guys. Thank you, Bacon. How you doing, dude? My wife's going to pick me up some more of that pre-cooked bacon from Costco, the big old slab of the pre-cooked bacon. It costs you a little bacon, but, man, the bacon's good stuff. 545. Man, the 545 by 39. Whew. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see that again someday. Azerbaijan. Let me see here. 10%. Azerbaijan, 10%. And I mentioned that because a little bit of 545 coming in the country. That's where it comes from. Tele ammo. He says, I have 2 clock radios. The radio parts are analog. Cheers, y'all. Dude, you are probably almost tied for red for being one of the most nostalgic dudes I know. And I mean that in like a totally good way. Trust me. Good to see you, Bacon. QD just came in. Wow, 22 EDU memberships. Well, thank you, sir. And now some of you guys have access to some extra content, and you can show off some extra emojis and have the little badge next to your name. You can be in the cool kids club, if you know what I mean. Thank you, QD. John Q. Public with another super chat says, just because of a felony doesn't mean I'm an evil man. No, I would never conflate those two things, actually. Yeah, some people with no criminal record are evil. You know, some people with felonies are evil too. Some people with felonies are very good people. And some people without records are very good people too. And there you go. Thanks, John. And QD leaving a member super chat for 27 months. See, he's been a member a long time too. Wow, man. Thank you. I was just talking to somebody about the Loch Ness Monster the other day, and they said, well, is it real or isn't it real? And we actually had a debate on it. Can you guys believe that? Thinking of the Loch Ness Monster for some reason. I saw Matt Morrison in the chat earlier. Dude, like Matt Morrison, Mateo, a guy named Orion Fixer. Like, I've seen all these guys around here in the last week or two. So if any of you guys are watching, shout out. They're like my first 3 viewers I ever had. I'm not even joking. Like, literally. You still hanging out, Matt Morrison? I saw him earlier just a little bit. There's a guy, longtime friend of the channel named Orion Fixer and Mateo. Wow. I saw all those guys. Sometimes you don't see people quite so much, but then you do. All right, let's go through here. We said Azerbaijan. This is the Kalashnikov USA ammo. This is going to be tariff 10%. If you can get it anymore. Sold under Tele ammo as well. MagTech Brazil, a lot of the Taurus stuff, 10%. Do you guys mind if I cut to the chase where it's going to hurt like really, really bad? Check this out. This sucks. Here's where it hurts real bad. Hold on. This is why we're in the shape we're in with all this imported ammo. Dude, the Loch Ness Monster is totally real. Don't even try to change my mind. I don't even think anyone's going to try to argue with me. It's totally real. Look, all Russian ammo, that's been sanctioned out of existence. No more. The former vice president banned every last bit of it. Doesn't matter who makes it. Doesn't matter how much you're going to spend on it. That's banned. Big hole in the market with many calibers, including Soviet calibers, including American calibers. It's been banned for a couple years now. Here's some 9x19. Made in China by Norinco. Told people a long time ago, I'm like, look, the fact that we can't get any ammo or any guns with a rifle bore from China doesn't mean I want to support China. It just literally means that this is gun control and has been. This has been banned since 1994. You're not going to be able to get it anymore. They'll probably never, ever, ever reverse that ban. So we're not getting hit with any increased tariffs on ammo or guns for the most part from China. I say for the most part, but we are going to get into China a little bit. Actually, a lot percentage-wise. But you ain't going to get any ammo from China at any cost. Not since 94. You ain't going to get any Russian anything anytime in the near future. All right? Oh, come on. Come on, QD. You're going to leave us like that? Well, have a good night, dude. I guess have a good night. Look at this guy. And just to think, hold on a minute. I was literally willing to like walk uphill both ways in a snowstorm barefoot to try to make sure this guy wasn't accidentally banned from my channel. That's how much I wanted to see him tonight. And he just came in here and said, Nessie's fake. Come on now. Oh, man. Jeez, oh, peas, this is 2 in a row. Me and Mateo might be friends because he didn't set my microphone up right. And QD, we might still be friends too. We might be friends. I mean, we are friends, but he just said Nessie's fake. All right, we'll still be friends, QD, I guess. What do you guys think? Can you believe he just did that to me? Oh. Good night, QD. Thanks, man. But look, China, we still do get shotguns from China. Those are going to be up like 54% by the time you add all the compounding tariffs up. I don't think anybody came up with like anything, right? I don't think so. Let me know. Yeah. I don't think anybody came up with any American options really besides like that are actually like assembled and made here, maybe for the most part, except for Trigicon and EOTech. Let's go to let's talk about Bosnia-Herzegovina. All right. And I know I grabbed some stuff from there. Pretty sure I did. Did I grab a box of Eggman ammo and took it across the room? Anyways, I'll just pretend that I have some Eggman ammo here. Now, I have some Bosnian AC Unity mags that I can't show on YouTube because they're standard capacity. I posted Eggman 5.56 X 45. You know what I mean, guys? Just kind of spell that out in your head. We're talking an ultra secret code. I'm dog whistling because, all right, 5.56 X 45. 20 of them were the good old 7.59er for 20 of them just a week ago. Yeah. Posted them on locals. None of my viewers that I'm aware of bought any or cared, but here's the thing. Bosnia, 36% tariff. Wow. There's like a lot of ammo coming over from there, and Eggman is good stuff. They're 7.62, 39, they're 5.56, 9 mil. I thought I brought it over here. I don't want to bore you guys and walk over and grab it, but I have some of their 124 grain 9 over there. 36% right next door. Also in the former Yugoslavia, Serbia. Think of Zastava. Remember I was showing my Zastava M77 on locals recently? Right now, nothing has happened. Like right now to that deal I shared like a couple weeks ago on locals. But Serbia, 37% tariff. Now also when we think of Serbia, I think of ammo producers such as Balom. Very nice ammo, by the way. This is good stuff. Some of you have actually bought this before. Top shelf, nice M67 spec. 37%. I was talking to somebody in the industry that ships a lot of ammo. Okay. Somebody that's on the major importing side of things. Here's what it's going to come down to. A lot of this ammo is just going to disappear from the U.S. market with these tariffs. It's just going to be. Because no longer will it be an economical choice. Now that hurts because here's what I've noticed. And here's what's going to happen. And I hope this doesn't, but bet your bottom dollar. Unless all these countries drop all their tariffs immediately, and then we reciprocate back down to zero, that is still technically in the cards, and I hope it happens. That's how I started this stream. I'm going to say it again. I hope it happens. Not betting that's going to happen, but I hope, like whatever that's even worth. Not much. But if all this stuff stays in place and implements, pow, A lot of this stuff, they won't import it anymore. It won't even be worth it. It won't be competitive. And then you know what's going to happen. All right. The U.S. companies are going to raise their prices because they no longer have any cheap competitors driving the price down. In one way, it hurts me to say it. It does. But in another way, like, I'm not a communist, though. Like I get it, too. What's something worth? Well, I guess it's worth what people are willing to pay for it. Hey, maybe people just continue to shoot even less than they are now, which is almost impossible because people are already, as a whole, down to shooting like none. They're already basically shooting none because of many reasons. They're just cooked, they're fatigued, they're burnout, they're broke, they're whatever. But if people can just continue to keep shooting less and buy less, it might be able to keep the prices down. I don't know. But if all of a sudden all these cheaper alternatives are no longer competing to keep the prices down, I think we're going to see U.S. prices going up. Don't forget for 1 second, and we're going to get into many more countries here. Don't forget that the U.S.'s formerly largest ammo producer is now owned by the Czechs. This is owned by a worldwide shipping magnate tycoon, ammo tycoon. Yeah, it's called the Czechoslovak Group, right? Bought Vista Outdoors, ammo division, all the primers, all the powder. Keep in mind, tons of primers are coming in from Bosnia and Serbia and Croatia and that part of the world too. Those are getting hit with huge, huge tariffs. So like a lot of our domestic ammo here, see, here's how convoluted all of this is. Just think about this. And we've covered all this on this channel. So it's like, buy American, buy American. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to, whatever I can, because they don't make a lot of stuff that I need. But then, like, you buy American. Oh, like a box of Federal. Oh, that's owned by a foreigner, though, too. So you're still, like, supporting a foreigner while you're buying local. And I know people work at these places and all that. You're still supporting locals, too. But, like, you know what I mean? They own like a good part of Fiocchi last time I checked, and parts of many others. So that's like the American stuff. Now, what about like I saw a thing earlier where Czech Republic's all pissed off at the U.S. right now. It's going to drop their GDP by so much. They're wanting to fight back. They're ticked. The whole country's ticked. The whole world's ticked right now. We're in a trade war. Hopefully it doesn't last too long, but we're in a trade war. These world leaders and world economies losing their ever-loving mind. What if Czech Republic's all ticked off at the U.S. and the guy from the Czechoslovak group is like, all right, bam. I'll show you guys I want to raise my prices. I'm not saying he would do that. I don't know him personally, but sounds like something somebody might do if they're trying to fight back in their own manner, right? This one's going to hurt, and I brought this box out for a reason. PPU. This is Privy Partisan. This is made in Serbia. They've been a long time military supplier, as well as for civilians in the U.S. and other places. They make a lot of great deals on just your 5.56s and, you know, common stuff, 9, you know. In fact, over on Locals, I posted some 6.5 Grendel the other day that was like, wow, through the floor, like crazy. Make sure you guys are checking out my Locals. Also, check out my X. Post lots of good stuff there, too. Stuff that you might regret not seeing. But Nemo ammo, it's called. That's made by PPU. So all of your standard plinking rounds, America's most popular calibers, huge, huge player in the industry. And good stuff, by the way. Good stuff. Serbia, this is 37% tariff now. This is 6.5 by 55 Swede. There's tons of different calibers out there, offerings. The PPU is about all there is anymore. Now, you might be able to buy some like really, really expensive, like 6.5 by 55 Swede from one of the domestic producers, but it's going to be like a super match round or hunting round. Something where it's like 50 a box. You know what I mean? At least 50, 60, 70 a box for something like this. If it's like, small quantity, boutique, US made. I mean, this stuff as of right now, and I don't know right this minute, but this was around like 20 or so. There's a lot of calibers out there like this that there's nobody going to even be filling the void. So maybe like the PPU of like the hard to get calibers, like I think of the 6.5 by 55 Swede. Here's another one here. Oh, this is banned. So you just can't get this at all for any amount of money. Completely and utterly banned. I think this came from my buddy 2 of 3, right? On locals. I mean, well, JR, my friend JR, what's happening, man? He says, look, you can usually find PPU 308 cheaper than other brands. I mean, maybe like right now, hopefully in the future, but 37% tariff PPU. Here's another one right here. I think you guys get the point. 7.63 Mauser. Who makes 7.63 Mauser in the U.S.? I love AAC. I've toured their factory. I've showed you guys pictures behind the scenes. They don't make 7.63 Mauser, and I'd be willing to wager they never ever will. 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. I'm looking at some of this Aguila 22 over here. That's Mexico. That's a big tariff. Serbia, 37%. Bosnia, 36%. Romania, 20%. The whole EU, 20%. Think about if you're into AKs, your Wassers. You've never heard of PPU? Well, they're a huge, huge deal, man. Robert says, never heard of the brand. Yeah, PPU, they've been around a long time, and hopefully you'll hear of them again if you ever get into shooting, a lot of this stuff, because pretty much like if you don't know who these guys are, you won't even find a lot of these calibers like at all. Right? EU, 20%. Romania, you think of like the Wassers and stuff if you're into the AK. Many others. South Korea, 25% tariff. South Korea makes me think of the PMC company. This being a battle pack, these are really cool. I was sharing posts on these. This is your 5.56. It's your M855, otherwise known as your green tip. PMC makes a lot of ammo, a lot of very affordable ammo. Common calibers. Tons of 9mm, 5.56. That's kind of like their wheelhouse. And others, obviously. $25 tariff. Now, you guys know what a tariff does, though, right? I mean, I should have said this in the very, very beginning. It doesn't mean the price will necessarily go up 25%, but it might not be too far off. I'm going to make numbers up. Just making them up just for it to make a little bit of sense. Say a box of ammo comes into the country for $10, and then by the time it hits the distributor and then your LGS in Michigan or Ohio or wherever. Shout out to the great state of Ohio, by the way. You end up paying $20 for it retail. Okay. Well, the tariff would be on the $10. So you might see that $20 box at the LGS go up $2.50. So to you, you'd only feel about a 10-11% increase. But some of these places, like if you know the 28EDU Locals channel, and also on X quite a bit lately, and you're getting stuff that's like such a smoking deal that you're buying it like at cost or below cost, which there has been a lot of that going on lately, just so you all know, at or even below cost in many instances, because of just reasons, Trump slump, they need to liquidate inventory, whatever, then you might see the price just skyrocket 25%. PMC is a lot of ammo, guys. This is your Koreans making this. South Koreans. This is the South Koreans. I've heard the North Koreans actually make better ammo, but we have a complete and utter embargo on all North Korean items. Which is a shame, because I've heard North Korea does make some pretty darn good Birdam primed, corrosive primed ammo. Corrosive primed ammo is not a bad thing. And I am so glad this question came in. Thank you, sir. Because this is what's so hard. My friend Martin Edgar, channel member for 3 months. Thank you. He says, are you on Rumble? You should consider it. I am. And usually when I start my stream on Rumble, 0 people are watching it. And then like after it gets going, like 4 or 5. And usually a week later, I'll get like a couple hundred views. Now, I start off every single stream. And I seriously am thanking you for this question, Martin, because it gives me a chance to plug it again. Censorship free. I start off every live stream saying, make sure you're following me on Locals and their sister site that rhymes with fumble. You know, links are all in the description. I start off every stream, and actually, this is one of the most common questions I get. Every video I put out, I get many, saying, are you on Rumble? I should consider it. Here's the crazy part, guys. Yeah, I'm on Rumble. Yes. I'm thinking about quitting it because nobody watches. Like, if 1/1000% of all the people that want me on Rumble actually watched on Rumble, I wouldn't be like this close to quitting the stupid site, because like it took me like 3 hours to bring like, dude, it took me like 3 hours to bring like hundreds of years worth of like old Mausers. And I brought guns in to show everybody that were like even like antiques, like from the 1890s, World War II stuff, like crazy cool stuff. And like nobody watches. I mean, some do. And shout out to all of you who do. Please understand, I'm not calling you a nobodies. I'm not calling you guys nobodies at all, like not even close. But like, yeah, see, and all the chat's going off how much everybody hates Rumble. It is what it is, guys. I don't know what to say. I cannot touch guns while I'm live on YouTube. I can't do it. They've nuked me for not touching guns before. You know what I mean? So thank you for bringing this topic up. This is a weird topic, man. And the gun community is like so hard right now, because it's like, I stream on Locals too. And I want everybody over there as much as possible. I post awesome deals over there every day. I post bonus content, sometimes even in the middle of the week. I live stream there. And everyone on YouTube is like, we want to see this. We want to see that. And I'm like, why can't I on YouTube? But so I'll go here to these other places and like, I don't know. It just is what it is. Everybody's all over the place. I mean, I don't know. And thank you for the comment, Martin. Shady Tree Mechanic says, corrosive primers, unless you want to clean your gun every trip to the range, that's fine. No, I actually don't clean them at all, sir. I've shot corrosively primed ammo for years and years with guns that literally haven't been cleaned in years. Now, if it's a collector's piece or something real nice, sure. But I really don't, actually. Now, corrosive primers. All right. Unless you want to buy non-corrosive and have your ammo expire in about 20 years or so, instead of 50 to 80 to even 100 years, as far as, you know, non-corrosive primers. Corrosive primers, if you want them to go off in extremely cold conditions on a regular basis. So, I'm just giving you a hard time, man, because you gave me the eye roll emoji, like, well, corrosive primers, unless you want to clean your gun every trip to the range. Eye roll, that's fine. No, I got you, man. It's all good. Corrosive primers, don't buy any. Please don't, because some of the mill strip stuff that's still trickling in with them, I like to keep the price down so I can get as much of it as I want. Because it's just not a free lunch. That's all it comes down to. Corrosive primers are not a free lunch. He says, well, now you're getting technical. LOL. No, I'm just ribbing you, man. But no, in all seriousness, though, certain guns, you probably should clean them every time you shoot. That is actually true. But other guns, they do have, you know, chrome line bores and even chrome line gas systems, and they're just fine with it for the most part. And then, you know, they are better in extreme cold, and they will last longer in proper storage. But it is a little bit of a pain too. So I am totally with you on that. John Q. Public with another member super chat. Well, thank you, sir. He says, I will set my membership for auto pay while locked up. Well, dude, thank you, man. I mean, wow. I hope you're not going to get locked up. Like, I know you're like facing a felony where you could get locked up, but they probably won't actually lock you up, will they? I hope not. Like, look, if someone's like just a total derelict and they get in front of the judge and they're like, yeah, F you, Your Honor, whatever. Those people never really do much time for the most part. Yeah, let me know, guys, in the chat, because I'm going to be reading this afterwards. Like, I see some of you guys kind of back and forth, you know. Let me know about Rumble and Locals versus YouTube, what you all think. I see a lot of people saying, you know, never heard of Rumble, don't like Rumble. What's up, DLD After Dark? How you doing, man? DLD After Dark. How's my buddy doing? I mean, it's weird. Yeah, YouTube's party's like, that's why it's hard to leave the big tech sites. Everyone's here. I love Rumble, but no one's there. I know, man. Like, like there's a few guys, G23's here. Now, Locals, I do have a more robust chat over there. I do. That's a perk for my supporters over there. But you can still like watch it totally free. Okay, like literally on Locals if you don't like Rumble, or Rumble you can watch for free too, right? So these are free streams. It's just the Locals chat's a perk to my supporters over there. Just a little extra bonus. But yeah, man, let me know where you guys are at with it. Which one you like, which one you don't. It's kind of tough. Vince Metzger, what's happening, dude? How you doing? With a $10 super chat. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And he says, thanks for what you're doing too, eh? Well, you're welcome. Now, Vince likes to buy himself some ammo and shoot it. I'm sure you're not too happy about these tariffs, are you, Vince? I mean, maybe you are, though. I should not speak for you. Maybe you're like me. You're like happy in one sense, but not happy in the other. I think I'm going to reread all this chat on replay. I can't be the only one that's like that right now. Where it's like, oh, if we can make it through, like I hope we can just make it through and things are better on the other side, right? You're not going to like your ammo prices soon, Vince. I'll say that. Because I literally never want to speak for anybody. Because like I have really good friends, family members that are like super excited about these tariffs, period. I have other good friends that like super duper duper think they suck and are like infuriated over them. So like I don't want to assume anyone's on any side of it. What I mean by like we don't like the tariffs, I just mean in this narrow aspect of it's gonna suck with our ammo going up through the roof. Yeah, you are right. Locals is nice because you can post pictures in the side chat. That is pretty cool. It's crazy. Like I'll literally show a gun live on Locals, and then some guy will be like, dude, here's mine. And they'll like show theirs, and or maybe like a joke, a meme, or whatever. Mike Hammond says, love the Locals live streams. Awesome. What's up, Danny? See, he says Rumble, you mean? Oh, I'm just saying. No, here's the thing. Waffagoey Jones. Dude, like Bongino, huge on Rumble. Crowder, Tim Pool's making it huge. Like all of like the conservative crowd. I'm saying that in air quotes because a lot of you guys are too. Like for the conservative pundits, huge on Rumble. Totally love it on Rumble. Gun channels, not really. Not really so much. Like the gun people and the 2A people. Now, some of you really are. Again, you guys totally count as people. I'm just saying statistically. Look, I'm over there too, so I'm in with you all. But statistically, like nobody in the gun and 2A community like those sites, right? Okay, X Plan says that locals is great. Good. Please let me know. Okay, guys, which ones you like? Red, my Cash App is in the description, sir. So if anyone likes to donate on Cash App to help the channel out, because there's no fees, very small fee, relatively none compared to YouTube. I'm sorry, there is a small fee. I do have a Cash App, and it is down there in the description of this video right now. It should be anyways. Let me see. In fact, yeah, last time I got a Cash App donation from somebody was March 9th. The time before that was March 1st and then February 14th. So I do average about a Cash App donation a month. I usually, average my $5-10 a month on there, which is, adding up to help the channel a little bit. Where do I put my... trying to find my link here so I can share it in the chat. And you don't need to leave me a Cash App, right? It's just you literally brought it up, and I thank you for that, because some people do like to help out the channel, but you don't want YouTube, the man, to get such a large amount. So here you all go in the chat. There is the 2A EDU Cash App. Yeah, Rod says, I liked locals. You were the only creator that drove you to it. I know. I don't know. Yeah, people aren't into it so much. Yeah, Ed, I have posted links for the Rumble live streams and locals live streams on YouTube. I have been doing that, and it's in the description of this video, and I tell you guys I stream pretty much every Saturday night. Once in a great while. I may have to take a Saturday off, but I'm on there like pretty much 99% of the time. Once in a while, I do it on Sunday instead. That's about the only thing. TJP, a channel member, says tariffs will settle down, economy will get better. All this is necessary. This reset is divine intervention. Well, look, man, I that's why in one hand, like philosophically, I'm kind of all for it, right? I do agree these other countries have been ripping us off. But at the same time, I'm really eager for tomorrow. But it's hard to get like how much does tomorrow matter if you can't make it through today? The economy's been so bad for so long under the former vice president and under all of these, and it's been going on a long time, really. It's been this slow burn. A lot of people are in that. A lot of people are kind of in that situation right now. Yeah. All right, let me get some more ammo out. Turkey. Gobble, gobble. 10%. Not as much as some. That's basically the same as Brazil. But, dude, think about all of the Turkish firearms and Turkish ammo coming in the country. Dude, if anyone's into the CZ75 and you like Turkish stuff and you like a steel frame gun, check out that locals post I made earlier, and it's on X. Does anybody use X? Check them out there. And I keep telling you guys these other sites because I post additional content on different sites. But like, dude, so many guns come out of Turkey right now that are in the US. Like, it's not even funny. And ammo. Here's some DRZ ammo. This has been good stuff for me, actually. I like it. DRZ, 10% tariff. Here's some ZSR. Made in Turkey, 10% tariff. SAR USA ammo, which you don't see as much anymore. Look, it's been hard to get a lot of this import ammo anyways lately because of like the Ukraine, right? Like tons of these people are allied with the Ukraine and send ammo over there. So a lot of it's been kind of shaky just to even find it, period. Here's some AAC. It stands for Advanced Armament Corporation, but it also stands for America's Ammunition Company. Here's some made in the USA. I've literally watched this stuff being built from the ground up. And I've actually showed you guys in live streams before. Like it starts with a little brass cup. It gets formed into a case, right? They make their own bullets. They jacket the bullets themselves in many cases. In some cases, they do outsource the bullet from another company. Just depends on the caliber. Make their own primers. Like this is awesome. And I do lots of shopping with American companies, and AAC is about as American as it gets. They don't have any big government contracts. They're not going to sell to the military and to the law enforcement and all that before you. Now, policemen in their, obviously in their individual capacity, people that are in the armed services on leave. I mean, of course, in their individual capacity, they're customers there. Duh. But they're not selling to the military, to the police, all of that. So this is basically just available to American civilians in the USA. Made in Columbia, South Carolina. A beautiful state, by the way. I wanted to go there a few weeks ago, but couldn't do it. But, it is what it is, I guess. So, yeah. For all of you guys saying, buy American, heck yeah, and I do, and I will. Hopefully they can keep their prices down. As maybe supply might be drying up. Demand, I don't really think I see demand increasing, really. Most of the gun community, whether they want to be or not, some of it's out of necessity. Some of it is because people are conscientiously choosing to. Most of the gun community is cooked. Put a fork in it, it's done. So maybe nothing's going to happen. I don't know. But like a tariff's a tariff. Now, I was talking to my wife before the stream, and she's like, there's a lot of leaders of the world right now coming right back at Trump because they're in turmoil, right? Saying, we'll drop our tariff down to get the reciprocal tariff down. Now, I did ask her, though, and she's very smart, by the way, very beautiful. I'm trying to think what I like about her the most, how smart she is or how beautiful she is. I'm just going to say both. It's too hard to decide. But if you're still watching, honey, look, here's the deal. I said, darling, what's the current tariff on Bosnia-Herzegovina? And she didn't have it memorized. She's slipping a little bit, guys. She didn't have it memorized. But no, seriously, though, she said, like, look, a lot of these countries might be wiping these tariffs out almost immediately. I think the way reciprocal trade works is if they wipe out the tariff for us, then we wipe it out for them. So maybe some of this stuff, like, essentially won't even come to fruition. Maybe like Serbia tomorrow says, yeah, just joking, we're getting rid of our tariff, and ours goes right back down, reciprocally back. And maybe like there's still enough, we'll just say Zastava AKs or Balom ammo or PPU ammo in the pipeline where maybe we'll never notice it. Maybe. And that is my hope. It really is. I don't know if that's going to happen, though, like across the board, right? Let me go through some more countries here. Croatia, 10%. 10%. Whoever's into those guns that are made by HS Product, which is a great company. There's a company owned by a guy named Dennis Reese. They kind of made a deal in Illinois for gun control for thee, but not for me. If you know what I mean. So I don't mention their name because I don't want to give them publicity, but very popular handguns and rifles in the U.S., mainly known for like very popular handgun lines. Croatia, 10%. All your EU countries, 20%. Azerbaijan, which has been kind of a loophole with the Russian sanctions, 10%. China, oh shoot. Like I said, besides the cheap shotguns, which a lot of those do come from China, make no mistake. They'll say PRC on them, People's Republic of China. I think that's up to about 54 to 60% now with the ones that had already been added on. Here's the crazy thing, though. If they're jacking up other commodities, see, here's where the devil's in the details, though. Like, the U.S., like, closed down all of its lead smelting facilities. So, like, even though AAC is made in the USA, I promise you it is. Like, I've literally seen every square inch of their whole factory. So I can, like, attest it's made. But is made even enough to avoid these tariffs? Because where's their lead coming from? I don't know the answer. But probably, maybe not from the USA. Huh. Is all their machinery that they use made in the USA? It'd be cool if it was, but maybe not. I saw they have computers in there. Well, obviously. The US hasn't made a computer in forever. Like, you can't make a computer from USA parts. Are you kidding me? We like literally invented a Silicon Valley, right? But now we don't even know how to make any of that anymore. Because our country's been real stupid for a long time, run by real stupid people. Evil people. Evil and stupid people have us in the place we're in. Make no mistake. I understand the old reset. I understand the eye for the eye. It's pretty risky, to be honest, on the internet, but I probably got almost everybody mad at me because half of me does love the crap out of these tariffs. The other half of me is like, ooh, I hope I can get the supplies up for these jobs to get some money rolling in, and then maybe I can afford to shoot a little bit too, and maybe, we'll have to see. As much as I kind of do like this, is as much as I hate it. Poland, 20%. If you're into AKs, there's some good ones coming in from Poland. Germany. Remember that company from Germany? They did an advertisement magazine years ago, and they put the rounds backwards in the mag. Let me know whoever can come up with that one first. That company. And then it started the meme. Because you suck and we hate you. You guys know what I'm talking about? They started the meme. Wait a minute. I've got some people following me on Rumble now. Hold on a minute. I'm giving you guys just a minute here because you guys can do it. That company from Germany, that's 20%. I know a lot of people like them some German stuff, which I do too. What's this? I just got a Cash App. Hold on a minute. Well, I'll be darned. Red just chimed in with a generous $50 Cash App. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. I do. Thank you. And I will start keeping the Cash App app up while I'm doing these live streams going forward so I can thank you guys in real time because I want you guys to know that I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Red. And I will get to keep a vast percentage more. Here, I'll be transparent with you guys so you know right now, Red, just in case you're wondering. And I had to set it up this way as I don't know if it's called a business Cash App or whatever, but it's for the 2A Edu channel. So whereas you guys can probably send some money to friends and family, like for literally free, maybe not, I don't know. The way I had to set up my account on here, there's a small fee. But look, dude, you sent me $50 and they took out $1.38 is all. That's very modest. So I'm able to see, I see the $48.62. If that was a YouTube super chat, well, let's see here. Depending. See, here's the thing. Everybody likes to think they know how much YouTube takes out for super chats. It actually depends what app you're using. If you're on an iPhone app versus an Android app, the iPhone does take out a little bit more. That's what's crazy. So I don't know. Like if this was YouTube I would have probably got like what, 30 to 35 bucks off of the 50. And since it was Cash App, I just got $48.62. So thank you, Red. I normally wouldn't get into that nitty gritty, but you had personally, said how you wanted there to be less fees, and yeah, $1.38 went to the man. The rest of it went right to this channel. Oh, okay, G23. They charge everyone. Okay, I didn't know that. I just set one up for the channel because people had asked. Good night, Danny. Take it easy, man. Thanks for using my link the other day too, dude. That was huge of you. And you submitted it through my little link that I have over there on Locals, or else I would not have gotten credit. So thank you, Denny. And thank you to Marco Polo who submitted, and JJ67. And this just in the last couple days, and I shouldn't say names because someone's gonna be like, what about me? My memory's bad, and I shouldn't mention names because I'll forget people, but yeah. Okay, hold on a minute. Richard Denny, USA. Let's go. Now I hear you, dude. I hear you, man. It's just how much of it's like, dude, it's hard. It's going to be hard to get through these times, though. I really do. Yeah. See, here's the thing, Shady Tree Mechanic. I'm not so sure they're all. See, a lot of your Germans and even spots from the old, like, Soviet countries and stuff, they make some good machines. They really do. Some of my best hand tools are made from like Czech Republic and Germany, stuff like that. So those people do know how to make some good tools over there. So yeah, a lot of it. See, that's the thing you guys got to think about. So here's the example. I brought it up earlier. I'm not going to go through every detail. I own a very small, like literally, like if you looked up small business, my business is the epitome of such. And it's probably even a little smaller than that. You hire me to do some work at your house or your business, you're buying American as much as you possibly can. I'm going down to the local hardware store where I can. I'm going to the local landscape supplier where I can. Sometimes I can't, and I just have to order stuff online because there's nobody in this small town that sells it. And even if I wanted to drive an hour, I don't know anyone that sells it. And that's just how stuff is nowadays. We don't make much here anymore. But I digress. So you go to buy it, but then it's like, well, hold on a minute. The number one chemical used to make bleach is imported from here, and they just got slapped with a tariff. Then this other one did this, and so I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to raise my customers' prices again to not literally lose money. And this has been going on for about 4 years, and now we're into the 5th year straight. Where it's like, oh shoot, well, it went up $50. I feel bad every time they hit, because a lot of my services are repeat business. Like you mow the lawn every week, or every once, twice a year, I go trim their hedges and shrubs and whatnot, or like I power wash and stain their deck every 2 years, like clockwork. And it's got to get old where every time I come back, I'm like, just went up 10, 20%, just went up 10, 20%. So a lot of times I'm like, well, I need to raise it 20%. Actually, I'll only raise it 15 though, and I'll eat some. Boy, am I stupid, right? But I try to do the right thing, and part of it's because I'm just trying to be nice. Part of it is I don't want to lose all my customers, and it's just so look. Even if you're shopping American, people are still having to buy all this stuff from overseas, and until, and I hope this can happen. Let me reword this: unless or until, because it's one or the other. It may never happen, but if it does, it's going to take a while. Unless or until they can start making all these supplies, chemicals, machinery, computer chips, microchips, computers, screens, all this stuff that you use for everything, optics, right? If we're going to go back to the gun world, until that stuff literally just starts being made here again, it's going to affect all your USA businesses too. Because there's no such thing as any company that even exists where every single thing they have to run their whole business, supplies, materials, the computers to run the office. Well, computers aren't made here, and they might assemble them here, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about making the components here. That doesn't happen. So boom, you're out already. There's not a business anywhere, no matter how pure they try to be, where all of their supplies, all their materials, all their tools are made in the USA. It's just not possible. That era is gone now, and I hope it can come back. And I really, really do hope it can come back. But it can be real tough in the meantime. Super, super tough in the meantime. And I'm watching the stock market tanking, and I'm watching crypto tanking, and all of this stuff tanking. And every time this happens, it only spells one thing. A lot of really, really rich people are going to get a heck of a lot more rich. And a lot of really poor people are going to get a heck of a lot more poor. If everything you're buying skyrockets through due to insane new taxes, tariffs are a tax on an item. It is what it is. No, it's not. Well, no, it actually is. That's like literally what it is. Now, if prices can come down in other ways, I'm all for it. I'm optimistically, really, hopefully looking forward to all the great things that are going to happen here soon. I really hope so. I really, really do. I just hope I can survive in the meantime, right? But rich people are going to buy this stuff up, and then people that are so poor just buying stuff they need to survive, if they have to sell a little bit of their retirement, the little bit of stocks they have, the little bit of crypto, they're selling it at a loss. I mean, that's just how this stuff works. Mortgage rates. I was talking to good friends of mine on the phone today. I'm just going to leave it at this because some of you may or may not know them. A lot of us have some of the same friends, but I was talking to my buddy and he's like, yeah, I was talking to my wife and I'm like, dude, I was keeping track of the checking account. Why are we like short? Why are we down so much? Because he was doing like we all do, scrambling through the checking account, seeing if he could make his ends barely meet. And she's like, oh yeah, our mortgage just went up $300. Interest rates are high. Local taxes have just gone up, which means that it has to raise the amount that's in the escrow, which this is all grouped together with a lot of the way things are built. I'm just giving you small examples. Like, there's a lot going on right now. There is. But yeah, man, Romania 20%, South Korea 25%, Bosnia 36%, Serbia 37%, Czech Republic 20%, Turkey 10%, Brazil 10%, Croatia 10%, all of the EU, if I skipped any countries there, 20%, Japan 24%, Azerbaijan 10%, China 54, 60%, somewhere in there. By the time you add up the recent ones and then the most recent, Russia, completely banned on any guns or ammo at all. China banned except for the shotguns, which used to be cheap, but not for much longer. Poland, and then I think DB Cooper got it first. I think. Said HK, yes. And if you guys look up the old magazine, Mateo can tell you about it. DB Ken. Right? There you go. Germany, 20%. Yeah, man, and I want all this stuff to come back like crazy in the USA, like big time. Big time. I do. Like, oh, man, I'm all for it in a way. I really am. My case of lawnmower blades, I had them in my shopping cart and was waiting to buy them. And I was waiting for a payment from a customer, and I knew I needed to be buying them, but the payment just took a few days longer than I expected it to be, wanted it to be. And well, in those few days, a case of lawnmower blades went up from $89 to $135 today. I knew I needed to buy them a week ago. I need to have a nice, 12 lawnmower blades. That's what I mean by a case. 12 lawnmower blades. Dude, they were sitting in my cart online, saved in the cart from the store I buy them from. They were sitting there, $89.99. I'm like, man, I need to get these. I know what's going to happen with these when these tariffs hit. I just know it. Couldn't do anything about it. I'm broke. I was waiting for an invoice. A nice payment came in for work that I had done in February for that customer. Awesome customer. Totally appreciate him. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, it's cash flows. I had to wait for that lump sum to come in. I go in and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go in there and add 2 cases of lawnmower blades because one probably won't even get me through the full season anyways. And I have a feeling everything I'm buying right now, I'm buying 65 cents on the dollar because, well, you know where all the lawnmower blades come from, China, right? So, I mean, regardless, most of them for the most part. So I'm like, I think I'm going to go buy 2Ks. I'm like, whoa. Remember earlier when I said I bought the 12 gallons of pool chlorine and I expected it to be like 63 bucks with tax, 63 bucks. She said 88. And I said, whoa, excuse me, ma'am, but perhaps you perhaps you keyed in the wrong number when you must have rang up, 16 instead of 12. And she's like, no, right here. And she showed me her screen. Very nice young lady. I appreciate her. She ordered 3 cases in from another store so I could get hustling and get that job going. No, sir, they're $7 a gallon. I'm like, oh, well, they were just 5 like that. I know. She says, well, we'll see what it is when the new shipment comes in. I don't even want to know what happens. But it's the same thing with these lawnmower blades. They were 89. I'm like, man, I know I'm buying these 65 cents on the dollar. Bam. 135 bucks. Just like that. And I knew it was going to happen. That's what the crazy part is. And I know I wanted to give you guys all of that little bit of behind the scenes because I know when I reread this chat, there's going to be a number of you saying, dude, I know like this Eggman ammo is probably going to go up like crazy. And it's smoking good ammo. Like it's really good. If you shot it, share with everybody. Because I think you're, for the most part, all going to agree with me. Like, there's always someone that hates everything. But, dude, this is nice stuff. It could just shoot through the roof or it's not even here anymore. It was $7.59 for 20 of the 5.556 just like 4 or 5 days ago. It's still not bad. It's still only 8.5. I should probably post that again on Locals, more information on that. But at the same time, it's like, trust me, for anyone that's sitting out there being like, dude, I know I need to. It's not that I'm too stupid. I just can't. Yeah, I was smart enough. I'm like, I got to buy these blades before Tariff Day, before D-Day, before to the small, hardworking American business owner day. That's what it's doing right now. It's really hard for guys like me. But philosophically, I'm all for it, and I hope it works. You know what I mean? Kind of. I hope it works. I honestly do hope it works. Will it? I don't know. But I knew I needed to buy those blades. I'm like, if I buy them right now, they're 35 cents on a dollar. Check's in the mail. The check's in the mail. I get the check. I deposit the check. Tick tock, tick tock. I hereby do declare at midnight, ladies and gentlemen, as the crowd cheers, I'm like, I know these. I know I need to buy these. They're 65 cents on the future dollar. I'm like, oh. You saw the Rose Garden ceremony? I'm just sitting there going, ding, 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 ding. That's my wallet. That's the sound of my wallet, right? It didn't matter. By the time the check cleared, bing, 135 bucks. Like, I don't know. So trust me, I know what you guys are going through. If you knew you were supposed to, but you just couldn't do it. All right. TJP with the super chat and a channel member. Thank you. Says, thank you, brother. We're all going to get through this. No, I appreciate the encouragement, man. I really do. And I'm being like really optimistic. I'm really trying to be optimistic. I know some of you guys are like, no, you're not. You're just sitting here complaining. No, it's both. It truly is both. Hold on a minute. Jane Locke. She says, I just got hit. Pillbox Bunker, is he still in here? Can you help me authenticate? Is this the real Jane? Well, it looks like her, actually. She switched her avatar up midstream. I've had to have Pillbox do this before. Pillbox Bunker, are you there? Can you authenticate to make sure? He says, I just got hit with a $300 real estate tax hike. Vince, I do actually wonder that. No, I do, man. Like, seriously, that's what I was getting at. I need to read some more of these chats because a lot of you guys are like, more concise and probably smarter than me, right? I mean, but that's what I've been wondering this whole night here. I wonder whether Trump considers services as components of the economy in addition to manufactured goods. I don't know actually on that. I wonder if he does. Because I keep hearing him say, we're going to make more great, big, beautiful cars. That's awesome. And a lot of my customers and friends and family and everybody, I mean, come on, guys. I'm like within an hour of what's called the Motor City. We used to actually make a lot of cars in Michigan at one time. Used to is the key. Things were a lot better around here when we did. So I'm all for making it here. But like a lot of those people are my customers, see? They said without the tariffs, they'd be gone. So, see, this is where this is all a catch-22. But a lot of people are in the service-based industry, yes. And it's like, make stuff in America is different than, like, the guy that, like, cuts your grass. Like, I make, but I don't make. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the service business. And I do pass along goods as well, right? Like somebody wants decorative gravel installed in front of their house. They obviously the cost of the gravel is getting passed on with the labor and then a general umbrella of operating costs. Yeah. JR says, I hope my employer can survive. They've already been slow and they're trying to keep everyone and we're making stock products for now. But how long can we do that? Well, when the shelves get too full, then you know, that's why in some of these cases, guys, and look, as of right this minute, it's still a buyer's market. It really is. I just don't know how quick it's going to change. I'm not joking when I said that. A lot of these deals on stuff, we'll just leave it real generic. I've posted on locals, and I do it a lot on X now as well. They're selling it at cost or even slightly below because you can only keep stocking stuff so long to keep your crews busy. And finally, it's like, all right, let's broom stuff out, either at cost or even a slight loss, try to keep people working. Hopefully we see an upswing and we'll need to keep all these guys. See, I work for a lot of small businesses too. That's what's crazy about it. Like I'm a small business. I cut grass for small businesses, medium. And I even have a customer that I think it's appropriate to call a large business, but still a Michigan owned business. So they're still local. But I think they're big enough to even be considered large. But then I'm friends with a lot of the guys that work there, and it's still like a real close-knit. It doesn't feel like you're working for like that big of a company, even though like you are, and you take it very seriously. But like the people like that I come in contact with when I work there are really cool. But it's all just crazy how it all trickles down. And when the small business ain't doing good, the service businesses could suffer from that business not being able to afford to freshen up their landscaping or power wash the exterior of their facility. Then a lot of their employees that work there go home and might not be able to afford to do it. Whether it's the Uber driver, whether it's the landscaper, whether it's the person that cuts hair, you know, the barber, the whatever. I mean, all these different services. And trust me, guys, I'm not just making it about me and my business. I know there's people that are suffering just as much, even more. And like somebody asked me that one time, and I'm like, really? They said, well, why are you making it all about you? And I'm like, no, I'm just telling you my experiences because I actually know mine, okay? But yeah, to make it crystal clear, it affects many people. And I'm not even saying that like the landscaping industry is the most affected. I'm not saying that. And I'm by far not the only one that matters. It's just I can tell you about my real life stories and like the 3 different things that have skyrocketed in price, actually 4, just in the last like couple days, as I'm trying to get my first few jobs of the season going. What's up, Lucky Dog 350X? How you doing, man? What's up, Fun to Learn? How you doing, dude? Okay, he said, I asked the Magic 8 Ball if all the tariffs were going to be easy, and it responded, my sources say no. LOL. No, I'm trying to really keep in my mind, though, why it sounds like I'm being negative. My wife did tell me earlier. She said, well, first of all, she brought up 2 things. She said, darling, we do have quite a bit of ammo. And yeah, because I've been smart and I bought it when it was cheap and stacked it deep. I made it a priority over other things. So that is true. That's one thing I'm thankful for. The other thing is, she said a lot of these world leaders are like instantly like, hold on, President Trump. We want to make a deal right now. We literally want to get right in there. And we just want to drop our tariffs down to nothing, so you'll drop ours down. And she's smart. She's not just going to tell me that if it's not true. Now we have to wait and see what deals are made, obviously. But yeah, there's so maybe that's going to happen, right? And I hope that happens before, right? I hope that happens before like supplies start drying up here and PPU and Eggman and all this stuff and stuff from Turkey just starts going through the roof. TJP says, Moral Blade's been climbing for 5 years now. Dude, every year for the last 5 years. I know. It's just, it hit me right in the teeth when they went up like, what is it, 45, 50% overnight? I'm like, excuse me? Now, I'll get it. I need to maybe find another vendor, whatever, but this was like the same one. I was looking back in my order history. I've been ordering them for years now, same place, and it's like, you can just see that steady climb for 5 years. You're right. TJP knows, seriously. So it's like over the last 5 years, during the Biden era, ding, 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 like everything. And then the tariffs are signed, like off the screen. I'm like, whoa, wow. But here's the thing, though. I've already checked like 12 places that sell the same blades. And yeah, like, like 135 is about the cheapest. I think I saw one place where I could save like 68 cents or something. I ain't going to switch to another company over that little bit of money, So, yeah. JR says, I love Eggman ammo too. No, it's been good stuff. What's up, John Crump News? How you doing, man? Man, lots of good people in the chat tonight. My friend Crump's in here. DLD, there he is. What's happening, man? You like these tariffs, DLD? Not that it's just a simple yes or no answer, though. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, Pillbox might have gone to bed. Hopefully this is the real Jane Locke here. No, it is. Hold on a minute. I think I just authenticated her. I just run it past Pillbox just to make sure. Because him and Jane are good friends. And this is for Jane's sake. It's like we want to make sure. One time there was a Jane Locke imposter in here. Brad says servant-reliant industry runs on imports. So I don't think he did. Dude, that's the thing, man. Like, I do think Trump really is wanting to sock it to these other countries because they do deserve it. Make no mistake. Did Trump forget about service industry? That's a good question. I think maybe he did. I'm going to have to ask some people about that. Well, I've still got 100 people watching. I'm going to jump off in just a second here. We did reach our super chat goal. That's why I'm just going through the chat, reading whatever chats catch my eye, free ones, whatever, I do appreciate the support tonight, guys. Is that what happened? Man, that's why I wanted to come hang out with you all tonight so I could try to hash some of this up in my brain. Yeah, pool chlorine at Ace and Howell is $7.49 a gallon. Yeah, times 12 gallons. Yeah, see, I'm getting it for $6.99 a gallon, so I'm not getting ripped off. That's the thing, man. I was at Bud Martin's in South Lyon today, right? $7. I'm not getting ripped off. Ace is usually competitive. I think this is the real Jane Locke. We're good. I mean, it looks like her, obviously. What do you think? Is it her or is it her twin sister? Yeah? Okay, hold on a minute. What do you guys think here? What's happening, Drew, in Oregon? How's it going? Oh, thank you for, look at this. He said, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Did Trump forget about the service industry? Hold on a minute. What's up, Andy's Big Balls Plumber? You're in the service industry, right? I actually have a couple friends that are plumbers. What do you think, Andy? Did Trump forget about the service industry? I wonder, because he's literally been talking about manufacturing. Let's bring the auto factories back. And I do know, like I know a lot about the auto industries. I mean, gosh, you can't live in Michigan without knowing a lot about the auto industries. You know, the Union Industrial Complex, all of that stuff, all of that goodness. Man, lots of good union members out there. Lots of really good people I know and that I like a lot that are union members. That's not what I mean. It's the Union Industrial Complex. Well, all these people that love guns more than I do, and they're at work talking about guns all day, and then the union they're paying dues to is up in Lansing lobbying for gun control like no other, filling the whole entire gallery full of people. While they're all at work thinking about this, while they're all at work paying 9% or 3% or whatever to the union, saying shall not be infringed. And these are my friends, and they're being sincere when they say that. And it sucks. It's just a messed up system that we're in. And then their unions up there with busloads of people, busing people in out of their union dues to take their guns away at the Capitol. Like, you can't even make this stuff up. And it's like, ugh. And then sending them Kamala Harris flyers every day in their mailbox. And trust me, you guys that are in the union, you guys get it. I know you do. I have good friends. Like, some of my literal best friends are in unions. And they'll come over to my shop and be like, what's this crap? Look at this crap. This is coming from my union. I paid for these Kamala brochures. Like, they get mad. So that's what I mean when I say Union Industrial Complex. And people that are in these unions know about it more than anybody does. Now, Shady Tree Mechanic, I am down for some USA-made quality car parts again. That would be nice. That would be nice, because a lot of these Amazon specials are not so good. Oh, there he is, Pillbox. How you doing, man? Oh, I think I figured it out. It was her. I was going to ask you if you could help me authenticate if this is the real Jane Locke in here. Because earlier she had a different logo, and now she switched. It looks like her. Or maybe it's your twin sister. But I think I verified her, Pillbox. I just know you helped me out in the past with it. And you got to watch these people, because Jane's my friend. And if there's somebody in here, you know what I'm saying, Pillbox. So, yeah, no big deal, man. If you were resting or whatever, then I hate to bug you. But that's why I was calling for you earlier. Right? Huh. I think you guys are kind of like, I think some of you guys are kind of helping explain this to me. Man, all the PMC ammo, if something doesn't change, is going to go up, what, 25% for South Korea? So I'm thinking, well, man, that Serbia one's going to hit me hard. I mean, where am I going to get my 7.63 Mauser ammo? Jeez, oh, Pete, 7.63 Mauser is my EDC. How many of you guys EDC your 7.63 Mauser? Okay, hold on, man. He says it is. Okay, good. Because she had a different avatar earlier, Pillbox. Did you notice that? Typical woman being sneaky. Typical woman being sneaky. This is a true story, though. Jane almost cuffed me one day, guys. I'm being serious. I snuck up on her when we were walking. We were walking down the sidewalk in Lansing. And I was behind from whatever reason. I snuck, you know what I mean? And I kind of like said something real abrupt, and she stopped so close it hit one of the whiskers of my beard. And just the wind from it almost knocked me over. So if it would have landed, I may or may not be here to do this live stream today. So that's true. As much as I'm ripping on Jane right now, I did sneak. That is true. I have to be honest with you guys. Okay, Mike Hammond, there you go. You know what I'm talking about. I made my union very aware of how I feel about their political views. Yeah, because probably like everyone you work with is all like, probably like voted for Trump, or they're talking about what they're going to be shooting, or like whatever, you know. That's how it usually works. What's up, Harry? Now the whole union thing can be a beehive, and I'm not even trying to go there, but I think a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this kind of stuff. Like, Wafagoey Jones says, I'm pro-union. Well, yeah, I'm sure you are, but are you pro the Kamala Harris flyer you get? You know what I mean? Like, you probably wouldn't go with your union to, like, protest at the Capitol for gun control, would you? I don't think you would. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm asking just to be fair, but probably not, right? So that's where it's like a whole catch-22. Well, that's a big thing, Red. Manufacturing is a solution, but we haven't cut the regulations that made it leave. Well, that's a good point. Those need cut like right now. Mike says, I'm curious to see how this will affect us concrete contractors that do work for Detroit. Interesting. We might know some of the same people, Mike. We might. I might cross some of the same circles you do. When you're saying you're a concrete guy, and now you're mentioning places like Detroit, like my company doesn't work in Detroit at all, but people I work for, okay, like at their yard, they have lots of people that do work in Detroit like all the time, if that makes sense. I don't like big cities. I'll literally stay away from a big city and be broke because that's probably where all the money is, right? I don't like driving in traffic. John Q. Public with another super chat. Well, thank you, John. If you guys have any last minute questions, get them in. I'm going to get off in just a second here. Thank you for another super chat, John. He says, why do good and decent people get screwed over for exercising a God-given and alienable and enumerated right to the Second Amendment, concealed or open carry? Why? Well, that's actually why the Founding Fathers started this country, actually, didn't they? They started this country so you could carry a gun, so that the right to keep and bear arms would not be infringed, shall not be infringed, was the strict mandate they gave the government. Well, I guess it comes down to something real simple, though. Life's short and then you die. And I think a lot of this is just a test. I mean, the Bible says life is but a vapor. It appeareth, then it vanisheth away. So while we do need to fight the good fight while we're here on earth as much as possible, life is short and it's full of problems. It's true. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. Sean Zimmerman says that's not Jane. Hold on a minute. Now, she did know about the Ace Hardware, though. She did know about the Ace Hardware. And how? Yeah, Lori, I agree. There are doppelgangers that come in here. Oh, yeah, I've seen it many times. One time, one of them screwed up, and there was two of the same person in here at once. I've seen it happen. What's up, Lone Wolf? How you doing, man? Yeah. Okay, Kyle McIntosh says, thanks for the union I'm in. Hasn't tried sending that crap to us yet. Good. But they haven't made aware they need to keep politics out of our store. Okay, good. Eggerizer, what's happening, man? He was over on Rumble. I didn't realize it because your name was just a little bit different. And then afterwards, they're like, I think it was G23, right? He's like, dude, that was Eggerizer. Oh, okay. What's up, Bill Alexander? How you doing, man? He says great content in chat. Have a great week, Patriots, and stay dangerous. Well, thanks, man. By the way, for any of you who didn't see my live stream last Wednesday, go back and check the replay. I did a live stream on Wednesday, and I thought it was a pretty good one, meaning I had a really good time. All right, I am going to jump off in 1 second here. Just want to see if there's any last-minute questions. I appreciate you all being here tonight. Yeah, DLD After Dark says why? Because 2 John 5:19, as I said, 2 John 5:19. The entire world is under the control of the evil one. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier. Okay. Just off 96. Well, I'm technically just off 96 too, you know, if you think about it that way. You actually sent me an email, didn't you, Mike? I was going to get back to you. I just haven't had time to plan anything locally around here lately. But yeah, I'll email you back, and you might be familiar with some of my friends around here. Good night, Kyle. See, this is where it gets interesting here. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Business account. Oh, for Cash App. I don't know that I've sent money with Cash App. I just meant like receiving. I think they only took like less than 3% of what Reds was earlier though, so it wasn't bad. My Cash App, yeah. Harry said the one last Wednesday was cool. I wish he could help John Q. Hey, he gave his email out. He just doesn't do criminal law and isn't licensed to Michigan. That's the problem. Isn't licensed to Michigan, too. Okay. Yeah, no, I hear you, Lone Wolf. Being lied to from both sides. Yeah. Mike McClune's talking about his PayPal account. Yeah, I have one of those as well, actually. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you had a good time tonight. Let's think about these tariffs, and I will reread the chat to see what you all think, because I'm kind of a little bit torn at the same time, right? Depends how you look at it, and I hope ammo doesn't go through the roof, and I hope you will all see. I hope I will see you all on Locals and Rumble tomorrow night. All right. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.